Platform 9, Williamstown train departing now. Ooh! My name is Quinlan. This is Melbourne Musos Facechook Live. Hey!
Forward, moving forward, moving
forward. Hey! Echo. Hey, as I said, my name is Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facechook Live on a dreary Friday. Sort of. I've been inside most of the time and I've got the pooch over there giving me the guilt trip with the big eyes going, look, where's the beach? Anyway, what's going on? Tonight's episode is all about this word delineation. Delineation, what the hell does that mean? When you start grouping things. So let me just start talking about a couple of techniques and a couple of people, beautiful people. Now when you've got, say, a single stroke roll, what you've got is right, left. When kids just first start, it's all they can do to do that. It's like, I think I got it. And then what you want to do, work the practice pad and then get your metronome happening. Okay, I should have brought him out, he's over there. But that's what I've got here. I've got the app. 136 beats a minute. In the old-fashioned tick-tock metronomes, that was one of the little things on the pendulum there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do crotchets. Right hand there. Add quavers. The metronome is delineating the beat. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a... And semi-quavers. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I think I've got that there somewhere.
1 and a 2 and a 3.
Oh no, that's a triple.
2, 3, 4, hippopotamus.
Oh, it's 13. Who can dance to that? So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now that's what we're doing. I've talked about that a little bit there. I'm going to bring that back in, and then when you're actually getting that sort of going. Now there's a reason for these patches tonight. And I've got the echo set at 120 beats per minute there, you see. So there's a little bit of cross stuff. But what goes on is, what I'd like to do now is actually talk about, get stuck straight into a few beautiful people. And the first one is, I'm going to take them out now, just for a sec. There you go. And what I'm going to do is, what am I doing here? Introducing one of the greatest books written of all time. Stick Control for the Modern Drummer by George Laurence Stone. I'll feed to that later on when I get the 4-camera shoot up. I hope it's a 4-camera shoot tonight. One of them let me down last week. Anyway, there you go. So that's George Laurence Stone, Stick Control. What a text. When I was putting together the original drum set syllabus back in 94, 95 for a mob called Ansgar, I couldn't use this book in exercise because there was no solos per se. But I did write it in as an addendum. Please buy this book. This will be invaluable for you. This is my book from when I was 15, ancient times gone by. And what happens is this book was written, copyright 1935. And what it is even just taking the first page, I think you're going to get the idea of what I'm going to be doing. There's just the first page of it, and it's all the sticking patterns of just quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you see, and all the patterns there: single stroke roll, left hand start, double stroke roll, left hand start, paradiddle, inwards, reverse, outwards, and then all the myriad of different possibilities of just being able to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you see, and it just keeps on going. You see, you'll have a look. Oh, please buy it. Have a look, and then it changes up, going into triplets, all sorts of things, and it just keeps on going. It's a beautiful book. It's almost like try for a page a day. Flams, the silence of the flams. There you go. If you don't do it, there it is there. And it just keeps on going throughout the whole book. Now what starts to happen, I'm going to read about George Laurence Stone in a bit, but when I start doing things like just a 4 on the floor bass drum, and I'm going to do it like bringing the hats. I'm mixing it all up. Oh, bring in the metronome. So it goes, you see, beautiful, there it is. And you just start mixing up, but you try and keep try and make seamless changes if you can. Now, what I'm going to do now is talk about the great man. Okay, let me see if the technology is up to scratch. Oh my Lord. George Laurence Stone. With Marley bombing the set over there. Okay, there we go. All right. George Laurence Stone, 1886 to 1967, was an American drummer and author. He wrote the book Stick Control for the Snare Drummer, 1935, like I said, and Accents and Rebounds for the Snare Drummer, 1961. Amongst his students were Joe Morello, Gene Krupa, Lionel Hampton, and Vic Firth. There's fairly well-known names right there. Biography. Okay. And he was the son of the drum teacher and manufacturer George Burt Stone, like my granddad. Hello, Granddad Burt. George Laurence learned drums and xylophone from his father and also helped out in his shop where the elder Stone tucked drum heads, turned drumsticks, made wooden foot pedals and sold violins. George Laurence also studied with Harry A. Bauer and Frank E. Dodge, learnt timpani from Oscar Schwa of the Philadelphia Orchestra, and studied music theory at the New England Conservatory of Music. In 1910, he was a xylophonist. Get your teeth in, Chris. On the Keith Vaudeville circuit. Good on you, Keith. And he played timpani and bells with the Boston Festival Orchestra. Stone played in the pit of Boston's Colonial Theatre under the baton of Victor Herbert and was a member of the Boston Opera Orchestra for 5 years. He was well known. There you go. One of the big things about that was that Stone was a founding member of the National Association of Rudimental Drummers, NARD. Sounds like a cream. Okay, which began in, I use NARD, or whatever it is. I think it was, doesn't matter. Moving right along, which began in 1933 and served as its president for 15 years. You have him to thank you for the 26 standard rudiments, later expanded in the mid-80s by Jay Wanamaker of the Percussive Arts Society. I've got the poster over there. 40 pass rudiments. It's essentially the 26 with an extra 14. Changed some of the names, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. But anyway, there you go. And teacher to Joe Morello started taking lessons from Stone when he was 16. Every lesson was a joy to go to, Morello said. If you did something wrong, he had a way of letting you know about it, but without belittling you. He was a very gentle, kind man, and he had a good sense of humour. There you go. George Laurence Stone. Now, what happens with George Laurence Stone and with that? we're going to talk about delineation a little bit. Now, what goes on with delineation is that when you're dealing with, say if you're just going to play a rock beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let's bring in the violins. I've got a reason for that. I'm playing with the echo. So it's roughly 120 beats per minute. I'm delineating triplets. There you go. There it is. Now the reason I'm delineating is because what happens is you can have a single stroke roll like that, and then you delineate whatever that beat is. That's like the plain, just a plain straight single stroke roll. Now if I got a piece of paper and just drew a straight line, that's what it would be, you see. But if I started doing twos, think of it like a ruler if you want. You know, I could do twos, so it'd be like a bump in the road, like a heart rate monitor. Bump, bump. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm delineating it into twos. Threes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the accents. See, there's 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You get the idea there? So that's what's going on. Delineation. Now, what goes on with this is now I'm going to morph into a couple of different things. And now I'm going to talk about a wonderful drummer that I love dearly. And I was buying his albums at the same time that good old H told me, here's stick control, son, play a page a day. There you go. And one of the great jazz rock drummers, Billy Cobham, vinyl if you don't mind, the original ones, Billy Cobham's Spectrum. Oh, my Lord. Oh, crosswinds. Oh, total eclipse. Not of the heart. Total eclipse there. Shabazz. Oof. That's a particularly busy one. A funky thide of sings. A funky thide of sings. Sort of play on the name there. And Life and Times with one late great Alan Zavod playing organ on track 1 there. There you go. And fantastic business. Now the reason I'm bringing him up is because he came to everybody's, Billy Cobham came to everyone's notice with originally with Miles Davis. And when Miles Davis was electric in the late 60s and all that. Jack Johnson with that great groove of Billy Cobham's. And he was also on Bitch's Brew, but not credited on the original, okay? But when they started doing the extended ones, there he was, that kind of thing. It was a great melting pot of different fantastic drummers. Oh boy. And there it is. But Billy Cobham then went on to the Mahavishnu Orchestra. I should have brought the vinyl out, but actually at the time I decided I didn't because I wanted to stick with his solo albums, because what starts to happen is that when you're playing, what he started to do was really quite amazing stuff. And we're talking about late 60s into the early 70s, and this is way before the other great hero of the 70s, Steve Gadd, who didn't really come along. He was around. But Chick Corea's Leprechaun album was the one, I Am the Leprechaun. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that album, which shot him into prominence, didn't come along until 1976. And it's a funny thing because he was an unknown drummer in 1974 when Herbie Mann, the famous flautist, sorry, wrong way round, came out to Australia. And there was a young Steve Gadd on drums. Yeah, but he was an unknown at the time. And that's what goes on there. So Billy Cobham's the man. Now, when you go back to 136 here, and then you start with a rock bear. Paramadoodle. Oh! And that's Billy Cobham. He'd busy it right up, though. Ooh! Chop City! And what it is Billy Cobham was so famous for that. I mentioned Shabazz before with John Abercrombie on guitar. He was a bit over. He loved his wah pedal on this particular one. But that's busy, man. Oh, what's on this one? It's all live. It's his live album. Side 1, Shabazz. Taurian Matador, revised from an earlier album. Red Baron, which was a sort of a hit, revised. 10th Pin, which goes for 14 minutes, as you do in the good old jazz rock, before they rebranded it Fusion. There you go. I still call it jazz rock. Wonderful. There it is there. But that was busy. Oh! And then when we're delineating, no, wrong one, not the train.
Forward, forward, moving forward, forward, moving forward, 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 moving forward, 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 moving forward, forward, moving forward, 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 moving forward, 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 moving forward, forward, moving forward, 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 moving forward, forward, forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 bars of 7. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gina, la, la, da. Of course I was. I was always going to do it, wasn't I? Oh. Can I take you out again? Hell no. To Frank Sinatra. What a woman. What a count. Oh, beautiful. Gina, la, la, Bridget. There you go. Forward, forward, moving forward. God help me. There you go. So, what we're doing now, that's Billy Cobham. I'm going to talk about him now. Hello. Billy Cobham, drummer. Oop. There we go. Wikipedia. There we are. Doesn't really let me down. It can be a bit controversial sometimes, but it's never really let me down. William Emmanuel Cobham Jr., born May 16, 1944, and still with us, is a Panamanian American jazz drummer who came to prominence in the late 1960s and early 1970s with trumpeter Miles Davis and then with the Mahavishnu Orchestra. What did I tell you? He was inducted into the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame in 1987 and the Classic Drummer Hall of Fame in 2013. All music biographer Steve Huey said, generally acclaimed as Fusion's greatest drummer. Jazz rock's greatest drummer, thank you very much. Billy Cobham's explosive technique powered some of the genre's most important early recordings, including groundbreaking efforts by Miles Davis and the Mahavishnu Orchestra before he became an accomplished band leader in his own right. At his best, Cobham harnessed his amazing dexterity
into thundering high-octane hybrids of jazz complexity and rock and roll aggression. Cobham's influence stretched far beyond jazz. He influenced progressive rock contemporaries like Bill Bruford of King Crimson and later ones like Danny Carey of Tool. Prince and Jeff Beck both played a version of Cobham's Stratus in concert. Phil Collins, who named the Mahavishnu Orchestra's The Inner Mounting Flame as a key influence on his early style, said Billy Cobham played some of the finest drumming I've ever heard on that record. There you go, Billy Cobham. I've met the man. He has my books. Apparently he likes them. He sent me an email once upon a time. I got a photo. I was a little bit of a fanboy, but that's all right. And it was fantastic when he came out those years ago. The master of the paradiddle. Now, when you're doing things like this, there's a paradiddle there. And in the past, I'm going to do it up here in a second. But in the past, I've done a little thing called a paradiddle pyramid. And what you do, it's a wonderful old exercise. And it harks back to George Laurence Stone, so it's all connected. And what you have is two single paradiddles, like right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. Two doubles, right, two triples, how did the Three Stooges get into that? So you end up with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Woo woo! Now this is why I've got this. I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to do the paradiddle pyramid right here. But what I'm going to do, there's the single. Then double, triple, double, single, now, double, and triple. And the reason why I did that was by a chap by the name of Steve Reich. And Steve Reich is a wonderful minimalist composer. And I'll get to this one too. Steve Reich. Steve and Michael Reich, born October 3rd, 1936, and still with us. There you go. Is an American composer known for his contribution to the development of minimal music in the mid to late 1960s. Reich's work is marked by its use of repetitive figures, slow harmonic rhythm, and canons. Not the bang-bang type, canons, musical canons. You know, that started off with Bach. There you go. Where is he? Bach. No, he's asleep. Sorry. Reference to my pooch. Sorry. Reich described this concept. Hello, boys. Reich described this concept in his essay, Music as a Gradual Process, by stating, I am interested in perceptible processes. I want to be able to hear the process happening throughout the sounding music. To do so, his music employs the technique of phase shifting, in which a phrase is slightly altered over time in a flow that is clearly perceptible to the listener. There you go. His innovations include using tape loops to create phasing patterns, as on the early compositions It's Gonna Rain 1965 and Come Out 1966, and the use of simple audible processes, as on Pendulum Music 1968 and Four Organs 1970. 78 recording music for 18 musicians would help entrench minimalism as a movement. Reich's work took on a darker character in the 1980s with the introduction of historical themes as well as themes from his Jewish heritage, notably Different Trains, 1988. That's why I was doing the paradiddle pyramid. When you hear the album Different Trains, the violins, the strings are going doo-dee, doo-doo-da, doo-da-da, doo-dee. They're doing a paradiddle. And then all of a sudden you hear that. Now when we're starting to do the darker side of Steve Reich, there's I think you can catch the drift of why he did something about trains. He'd actually take tape loops of trains exactly like that, and then get the strings to play paradiddles. Shane. Double, as in paradiddle. Triple. Back to double, creating cross rhythm, single, there you go, Different Trains. He had another one called just Drumming. This is wonderful. And there's the clapping song where he takes a rhythm. Evelyn Glennie does it by herself. Dame Evelyn Glennie, for whom I love dearly, and for whom I play her drumsticks. For whom suits me perfectly, the perfect stick for me. Long taper, bypass the rimshot city, and then a slightly larger shaft with a nice heel at the back. It's a beautiful stick. I love it very much. A couple of splinters I get when I go Latin. Oi! But anyway, that's all right. No pain, no gain, hey? Hey! So what happens? Got to think about wrapping shock. Delineation. Delineation, being able to take regular even notes such as quavers, triplets, semi-quavers, quintuplets even, all sorts of different things, and being able to like mix it up. I believe you. What up? What up? My name is Bruce Quinlan and this is Melbourne Musos Facechook Live. I'll have this up tomorrow. In the meantime, check out George Laurence Stone. I haven't said it. Billy Cobham. And Steve Reich. Oi! Take care. Don't forget to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Gina, lo, Brigida. Gina, lo, Brigida.